audio quality is good, because last time I had an issue. I think it was this microphone. But we'll live in hope that it's going to sort itself out. I'm keen to find out where you people are watching from. I'm here in Lancelin, in Western Australia on the coast. It's quite a glorious day. And what can I tell you about the last couple of races? Saudi Arabia and Bahrain had, without a doubt, two of the best paddocks that we ever go to. At night, the weather is perfect. We sit out in the paddock at night. The weather's great. They've got, in Jeddah, they have this really cruisy lounge music playing. It was like being in a club. Dallas. Hello, James Hill. I've been to Dallas. I like your city. Jerry Hans from Australia. Hello. Oh, the Republic of Airstrip. Now, I've got a few days free after the Miami GP, and I'm wondering what I should do. I've got my 21-year-old son, Jace, shooting with me for that and the next 3 races, but I've got 4 days free. Where should I go around Miami? I'm staying, where am I staying? Out in Aventura, but I probably want to go somewhere nice. And it doesn't have to be in Miami, because I didn't really love Miami. But I'm keen to find out from anyone who lives in Miami what I should be doing after the GP. No, there's no booze in, well, I don't believe there's any grog in Saudi, but I was told that you could get it on the boats in the marina because the police don't have the rights to go on board, which sounded odd. Who knows? There were some boats with people on board after Saturday and Sunday enjoying the festivities, so who knows? Florida Keys, Michael. Okay, I'm going to make some notes when I see that. Florida Keys. I'm off to Melbourne next week, and I imagine, because it's daytime in Australia and it's evening in the US, I imagine I don't have too many people from Europe because of the time difference. But I've got to tell you that my market is pretty much America first, go figure, Britain second, and Australia third. They're my 3 biggest markets. And if you look at the sales of signed prints, which I do, 50+% go to the US customers. And what am I selling into Europe? About 10%. So if my business model was focused purely on Europe, it wouldn't work. So I'm very grateful to the American buyers, because you really appreciate memorabilia a lot more than most other countries. Hello from Portland, Oregon, says Eric. I've been to Egg Slut, and I've been to Egg Slut in a few places. And for those people who are about to get up in arms, Egg Slut is a genuine store. Hello, Stephen Davis from Dallas, because Stephen's proud owner of one print, I think, and now you've got another one you ordered the other day. Who have we got coming up signing this race? Esteban Ocon, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso. But Fernando Alonso sold out before I even had to promote it. If you are on my email list, you get advance warning of what prints are coming up for sale. And Fernando sold in just over 2 days. So thank you to those people. Hello, Terry Robertson, one of my biggest followers. I'm going to have a bit of problems with the internet, but this is stuff on both sides. So today I recorded my watches of... Definitely tomorrow you'll want to see my Santa Steiner. And I have sons you want in Saudi Arabia video, because I go up and have a look at one of the great mountain roads that you've ever seen in your life. And I also go to the old part of the city, and I get detained by the police. I won't tell you any more, but obviously I got out of my detainment, and I'm going to wind that lighting up a little bit there on me. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Oh, some of you haven't liked the video yet. Could I ask you to please like it? Hit the like button. It just helps. It's only a small number. Thank you. Oh, it's got an influx of people come on board. So yeah, I'm talking to you from our flight. It's a 3-hour time difference. And on Thursday, I'm getting 2 drivers to sign, Fernando and Oscar. And then on the weekend, I'll be getting Esteban Ocon to sign his prints, another driver, and a team principal. Which team principal, and it's not Gunter because I've already got prints signed by him, which team principal would you like to see a signed print offering? Tell me in the comments, when am I coming to Melbourne? I'm coming on Tuesday, Stuart. Is video down for everyone else? Video down, down, down. Not Otmar. That's the only one I'm going to say it's not. I'm not going to say who it is, but I will release those probably the week after the race. But you'll want one. It's a lovely picture, and this team principal posed for me, and we're giving half the proceeds to a charity. Yeah. So I'm just going to have to deal with the fact that this is going to drop out from time to time. And when will this meet and greet be? It'll be out near the Melbourne Walk. And I can tell you, not that it's going to impact you, but we have a different media centre this year. We're not out in that little tent next to the Melbourne Walk. We're a lot closer to the paddock, which is welcome news for us photographers. Which driver helmet should I make? I don't, whichever one you like, Republic. Yeah, I'm sorry about the feed, it's lagging awfully bad. Yeah, well, unfortunately that is the joys of Lancelin. If it's too bad, we'll have to give up. Let me see what internet I'm on here. No, can I see that? I can't see that, my friends. Yeah, I'm just going to have... Miami, I'm doing a meet and greet. Richard, yes, once again, planning on Instagram between FP1 and FP2, just out, and probably at the end of the paddock. Oh, actually, no, I've got to work out where most of you can get to. Best and cheapest place to buy a Rolex. Don't buy one, Mark, in Saudi. Mark Godley, member for 2 months. What corner will you be at in Melbourne? Fuck, I've got no idea, mate. I've got no idea. And sometimes I don't know till 10 minutes before the session. If I'm disorganised, and I often am. How do you think Oscar has settled into the F1 life? Good. Yeah, he's fine. He handles the disappointment well, I think. He's got good management behind him, and he's a lovely kid. What was I saying before? FP1 and FP2 in Miami. Yes, it'll be at one end of the paddock. Am I going to the IndyCar race? Yes, I've just booked it, Mitch, and I'm staying out in Carmel, I think. And I might leave on the Saturday night after the race and go to New York because I've got Jace with me. And I'll be doing a signed print offering from Pato Award because I think I can sell Pato pretty well. Maybe I should do one with Marcus Ericsson too. But definitely I've sorted out, recorded end of last year in Abu Dhabi. I've got a video coming up too with Pato, and you'll love it, Abby. And I'm going to wait until there's a bit of hype around the US race, and I'm going to run it there. I'm sorry, people, about the audio and video lagging. It is quite ordinary, I'm told. $1,700 US for a ticket to the Las Vegas GP. That certainly makes my media pass very valuable, doesn't it? Was the paddock vibe off without Angela there? No, it was a little unusual because as I might have, if you see my video, which has had about 250,000 views, on that matter of Lewis and Angela splitting, and I know they're not husband and wife, but they were a very strong partnership when it came to drivers and trainers in the paddock. It was a little odd because I didn't actually pick up on the Thursday that she wasn't with him. And a number of people actually made comment, where's Angela? So on the Friday morning, I was about to go down and ask some questions. Both of them. It really threw me that originally I thought that Angela was just saying that she was congratulating Lewis for her 7 years together. But she was actually saying, yeah, we're splitting up. I think there's a story there, and I don't know that we'll ever know what that story was. Pato is a legend. Yes, Stuart. He's highly marketable, and I think if he got into Formula One, I don't know whether he'd be quite as jolly with the fans, because I know at the moment no one treats the fans like Pato. He is so full on and delighted and thrilled to be a part of it. But after a while, given that the huge following that you would get as an F1 driver, that might actually become difficult to do. But is he? I'd like to think so, but not. Who's going to take the Red Bull seat at the end of the year? If Sergio doesn't go gangbusters this year, my money's on Lando Norris. I think Lando could end up over there at Red Bull. Max is from the northern part. He is a legend. Xavi Martos, Sergio's trainer. Well, one of two trainers. The other one is Jose Canolis. I'm pretty sure that's his last name. And he's a tremendous fella. And he loves the F1 world. Who wouldn't? Daniel will definitely be in Melbourne with Red Bull, I understand. Where is he now? He's in the factory at the moment, I think. But yeah, I understand he's coming back. Good to see him in the paddock, and he'll be in his Red Bull kit. Have I seen him in his Red Bull kit? No, I don't think I have. But he's doing a great job PR-wise. They couldn't get a better man for the job. Invest in a New York City apartment on Billionaires Row. No, I'm not going to do that. Is that a marimba? Yes. That one over there is my son's marimba, all covered up. He studied that at school. Both of the boys did. Tyler was pretty good at it. Jace doesn't play it anymore, and both of them can tinker a little bit on that instrument there. That one just there. Do you think one of the Red Bull drivers would drive the new supercars? What's the supercars? Is that another category of racing I don't know about? Races I'm looking forward to this year, going through my list. Miami, oh no, not really Miami. Imola I love, Monaco I love. I'm just going through the list here. Hungary I love. Netherlands, yes. Japan, yes. Austin, yeah, I think this year is going to be great. Mexico I always enjoy, and Las Vegas. They're the ones that I'm looking forward to this year. All of them are pretty good. The one I least like out of them, maybe Miami. I didn't love it last year. Maybe it was just the hotel. I'm in a better one this year. Do I see Daniel back in an F1 seat next year? Only if Sergio doesn't do well and they don't pick up a young gun like Lando. I think he'll struggle. I think the year out and his age and the fact that he didn't do that well at McLaren, certainly everything I've read suggests that is at the long end of the odds. Cork Island, hello to you. Yeah, we need some Baku madness. I had one of my best ever races in Baku, going back that year that Max crashed and then Lewis speared off at turn 1. My gosh, can't do drone photography, not allowed to at the track. It's forbidden, as is videoing at the track. What other questions do you have, people, on this Saturday morning here in Western Australia? It's so early for the UK and Ireland. Yes, Lewis, what are you doing up? Have you come back from a night out, or are you up early for work? Hello, Mark is godly. Now, Mark's clever. He's used Super Chat to jump to the top of the queue. Do I like Formula E and NASCAR? I don't like Formula E for the noise, and it looks a bit Mickey Mouse. NASCAR I never watch. I don't think I've even got access to NASCAR. But I do like IndyCar because I know the drivers well, some of the drivers. And I don't watch the Aussie V8s. So if you want to get your comment definitely noticed, throw in some dollars and get to the top of the list. What have I got my thingos here? Gunter Steiner book's coming out later this year. Will you be buying that? I will be. In fact, I don't think I'll have to buy one. I've asked for a copy well in advance. And what I wish to do is sit in a leather chair in front of a fire and read passages to you on a YouTube video. And maybe you'll be inspired to go out and buy a copy. I think it'll be an interesting book. Restaurant review in Melbourne. Will I get a chance? I don't know. I've got this race. I have so much work on. I'm staying late each night to do stuff except Sunday night. So I'll probably just eat at home with my family. And where are we staying? In Malvern. Beautiful Malvern. And says Republic of Airstrip, if you're in Florida, you can go to the Port St. Lucie City scavenger hunt excursion by 3 Quest Challenge. Well, I'll make a note of that here. Florida Keys is one, and the Port St. Lucie City scavenger hunt. Scavenger hunt. Rightio, thank you for the tip. I have 4 days after the Miami GP with no plans, and I'm looking to stay in the area. I don't want to have to get another flight and then another one to Indiana. So I'll just do the Indiana flight towards the end of the week. How much do paid subscribers help finance your travel? Enough? Yeah, enough. It's nice to get them. My travel costs are funded by a number of different revenue streams, and you certainly couldn't rely on one. Kasumi in Melbourne is awesome. There's a restaurant, is it, Stuart? Thank you. And Remy Tapas in Malvern, thank you. Unlikely to be going out to any restaurants, but thank you. How about featuring drivers and their pets? Yeah, that involves a bit of stuff digging around their private life. Maybe not. I tend to do stuff that goes on at the track that I can photograph and document. The sound is fading in and out from soft to loud. Yeah, look, from my end, I'm speaking at the same level. Get a bit louder. No, I'm speaking at the same level, so unfortunately it must be at your receiving end. And the Florida Keys, says Leland, is it? The drive down the overseas highway is beautiful. Thank you for the tip. What's my plans during it's not 4 weeks between Melbourne and Baku. Melbourne is on the 2nd. Bloody hell, it is. It is 4 weeks. Oh no, just come back home. Just come back home here in Perth and do videos. At the moment, I must have about 7 in the can, ready to go. Hello, Albert Coe, one of my good members. Thank you for that. It's 10 a.m. in Penang. And it's 10 a.m. in Perth because we're on the same time zone. Need another Charles Cutlery style pic. Well, if he poses for me, I'll take the picture, I promise you that. Meet and greet in Indiana. I don't know whether anyone would show up. It would be worthwhile. But yeah, look, I'll be at the track. Perhaps I'll mention something there. And if you're at the track for that GMC race, I think that's what it is. Favourite airline alliance? Well, I'm a Qantas frequent flyer, so what's that? One World? Milton Brownrigg. I'm going to see Milton. Milton has purchased a print. So Milton, yes, we will catch up at the track one day. Hopefully you're on the Melbourne Walk and I can pop down and say hi there. You know what? I might even feature you in Men of the Paddock. If I don't get 10 absolute rippers, I'll put you in. Like if we've got Will Smith and we've got, well, not even Will Smith, I don't actually rate him. If we've got Jeremy Clarkson and a whole lot of stars, they might bump you out. But Milton is one of my most ardent followers. So thank you, Milton, for your support of the channel. It makes it all worthwhile. What am I planning for summer holidays? Going to hire another boat? No boat. Going to come back and spend it here in the winter in Perth. But my wife is coming over some races. And Jace, who some of you might know, my youngest 21-year-old son, is going to come with me for 7 races. He's going to have to work his bum off. He's going to be coming to Australia and then Miami and then the 3 after that, which are Imola, Monaco and Spain. And he comes home and then we come back for Singapore and Japan. Yeah, he's getting a whole lot better, and we've had a bit of a training day yesterday on how we set up our recording, our editing stuff on my computer. So he really has to appreciate, or he does appreciate, I know, how hard you have to work in this game, because they are easy 12-hour days, some 14. Has Lewis ever shown any personality? No, we see very little of Lewis. Normally, he just walks from A to B quickly normally, and he doesn't stop and talk. He's a different creature in terms of his focus. And look, he's much like Max Verstappen. We don't see Max relaxed very often out there. He just goes about his job. Never rude, never anything but polite. If we get in his way, he's fine. But no, we don't typically I don't typically speak to Lewis, and I've had a couple of chats with Max. Always found him nice, but yeah, some drivers have better relationships with it than others. What's the time in India? It must be, 1 a.m., 1 p.m. maybe? You hinted that you've been employing a new, faster way to get pics uploaded. Yeah, how's that working, Stephen? Well, we're close. It's an AI thing. Oh, no, actually, what you're talking about might be using an Android phone for me to upload, and that's working beautifully. Although, and you might notice this, I will typically put up a picture with basic text, and then about 2 minutes later, you'll see all the tags go in. That's because I use 2 different phones. I use an Android to get the picture from my camera to the Android, and then I post from that with my text that I voiced to text in, and I apologise that often there are mistakes in it, and that'll be because a driver will be coming towards me and I'm nearly finished that, and I go, oh bugger, I'll just put that up, it can't be too wrong. And then I come back after that driver walks past and they go, oh yeah, there's 4 mistakes. And then I go and save that, and then I go to my other phone where I've got some saved hashtag lists, and I use that. So that's what happens. But yeah, the other thing is a very nifty way of getting a little post-race video done minutes after the race is finished. And it's all done by AI. And you hopefully will think I'm voicing it and I've edited it in 5 minutes from the end of the race. But no, that's all going to be automatically done. So hopefully you're impressed. 7:54 a.m. Okay, you're behind us. Driver reps, from what I've seen. Is that part of another message? It might be part of that one there, is it? Yeah. Oh, look, if you're in the paddock for 102 races and you see the same people every weekend, you too would get comfortable with them and just stop and talk. They're no different to anyone else. It's just that they know a lot more people, and everybody wants a little bit of their time. Will the drivers be doing their track walk Wednesday afternoon in Melbourne? I don't know, because Melbourne's tricky given that there's action on track on Thursday, isn't there? I am going to a launch of Valtteri's new, is it gin? It's some sort of product anyway, alcohol. No, I've just done a video ZYZZ, and I needed a shirt on, and it finished just before I started this. That's why I'm wearing a shirt. But look, it's got a hole. That's sad. But I do have a Yeti cup, and I love my Yeti cup. Oath Gin, is it? Yeah. So that'll be nice. Catch up with Valtteri and Tiffany. I bought this great light, which I use for my videos when I'm away. It's a Lume Cube light, and it's phenomenal. Look how bright that is. And it's got variable brightness on the back, lasts for about an hour, and it's made a huge difference to my videos that I record when I'm away from this big light. And as you can see, that is a very big light. And some soundproofing there, and that's my son's microphone, which I had to use the other day because I didn't have this microphone on this camera. I left that in Perth. What drivers are you closest the most? There's about half the field I talk well with, and the other half, except for maybe Lewis, you can say hello to, but don't spend much time with. Tiffany in the EU riding at the moment. Well, she'll definitely be in Australia come the end of the week. And a number of the drivers are getting here on Tuesday. Any recommendations for your first race weekend? Go to the Melbourne Walk if you want to see drivers. Stand there, get there early, and wear something wacky if you want to be noticed. Friday night in Indianapolis, says JD Stan. I'm going to be in Indianapolis after the Miami race. And you're going, No Typical Redneck is going to the Texas Motor Speedway to shoot IndyCar for your local paper. Good for you. Any suggestions? Yeah, take as many lenses as you can and use them all. 70 to 200 is something that you can't go wrong with. But I love my 600mm. In fact, Jace is coming with me to 7 races, and I've told him to bring the 300mm because it is a brilliant lens, f2.8, and not too heavy that you can't hand hold it. Well, you don't say hi to Lewis because there's no the photographers around you. You wouldn't walk and talk with Lewis because other photographers and media would just hammer you because he is so popular. Whereas someone like Logan Sargent, you could walk with him down the far end of the paddock and there'd be no other photographers around, and you're not upsetting anyone, so you've got to be careful of that. Did I watch the season opener for IndyCar? No, but I do have the streaming app that allows me to go back and watch it. Should I go back and watch it? I know Marcus won and Pato came second, which is great. I'm also impressed, and if you've just joined me, I mentioned this earlier, but 50+%, I think it's 58% of my picture sales, signed print sales, go to the US market. It's such a huge market for me. And also my photo books, well over 50% of my photo books. And I do one at the end of every race, and I do one on each driver. So I'm really grateful to the US market for getting behind this sort of stuff because it is collectible, especially the prints, because they are numbered, and don't ever buy a signed print if you don't get something in terms of a photograph to prove it's real, and I know some people say, oh yeah, but I've got this certificate of authenticity. Yeah, but the people selling you the bloody thing are printing that certificate. And I can tell you right now that I know of plenty of professional sports people who have people in their organisation to sign for them. So if you're not getting a numbered print and you don't get a picture of that numbered print being signed, you could be getting ripped off. I'm not saying everybody, but you could be. And that's why, like when I do these prints with drivers, a couple of them said, okay, send the prints through and we'll get them signed. And I go, no, I need to be there when you sign them because I need to take a photo of every one. Did I ever try Nikon? No, I don't know why I bought a Canon 30 years ago. Why I did, I don't know. But now I just buy Canon. I just keep upgrading. And they're great to deal with because I'm a member of CPS. And if you're a professional photographer, you can be a member. And they'll do things, and I'll give you an example. Last year I smashed my 600mm lens. It's a $15,000 lens. And I smashed it in Saudi Arabia. And I didn't realise until Melbourne that it was broken. So I went down to the Canon guys and I said, this is broken. They said, well, here's a replacement. So I used the replacement and they said, oh, we'll take this back to Sydney and get it fixed. 4 months it took to get fixed. They gave me a replacement lens for 4 months. So thank you very much to Canon. That tends to make you very loyal to a company. Yes, Alistair, I did Indy GP last year and I'm going back this year and I'm not going to try quite as hard. I treated it last year as pretty much like an F1. So I do my get there early and wait for the drivers to arrive and do the sessions and rush back and edit. I'm not going to do that this time because it turns out that I can't put pictures up for sale on ProStar Pics. For some reason, their rules and regulations are totally different to F1. So there's no need to be quite as diligent, but I'll certainly be covering it for Instagram and putting out lots of content for you. The likes are running behind the number watching. Yeah, how is that? Terry's right. Can you all please hit the like button now? Hit the like button. Thank you. It's the one that looks like this. Smash that. Hit it hard, but don't hit it twice because that takes off a like. Just hit it once. Thank you, people. Come on. Don't be lazy. Oh, there we go. There's a few more. Hit the like button. They are blowing it with not allowing iRacing. What's iRacing? Yeah. And I understand that IndyCar is the second motorsport category behind NASCAR. Why is that? But I also understand, and I've got a video coming out. I'll tell you what I got lined up. I've got a great video tomorrow night about my Saudi time there. It's more of a travel video. I've got another one recorded already called F1 Drivers Private Planes, and it's fantastic. I got some remarkable vision from a chap who videoed all of the drivers in their private planes taking off after the Spa race last year. So you're going to love that video, and I'm just waiting for a moment to put it up. I've got another video, 2 videos talking about the US's love of Formula One and the fact that it's skyrocketing. I will do a meet and greet in Vegas, Zaid, without a doubt. What else have I got? I've got 40 pics. Did a great video sitting right here with my son where I said, you go and pick 40 pictures and I'll see how good I am if I can recognise where each one was taken. And I thought if I got 35 out of 40, that would be a good result. And you will be able to watch that video coming up shortly and see whether I achieved my 35 out of 40. It'd be nice if I got 40. Let's see, huh? All coming up and free of charge for you. iRacing is sim racing. Okay. Thank you, Anthony, for hitting the thumbs up button. I wish I could hit it. Can I? I can't see it here anyway. Now, I met David in the Budapest paddock last summer. It's always hot in Budapest. You said my name correctly. Great. Hi from Tokyo. 80. Are you a Japanese or are you an expat living over there? I love Tokyo. It and Moscow are my standout 2 favourite cities to travel to in the world because they are so unlike every city I visit. What do I think of Saudi Arabia? Well, I was delighted that I went up to the Al Taif Mountains and had a look. I hired a car for one day. I'll tell you a story. So I said to the hotel, I'm staying at the Shangri-La, which is a stunner. I said, I need a car. Can you arrange something? Yep, tomorrow, 10 a.m., $70 it was, 77 maybe. And so they bring this car around, and I sign the damage reports, noting what damage is on the car. And I said, anything else? No, that's it. What about the contract? No, that's fine. Just bring it back with the fuel on the same level. I said, what about insurance? Yeah, it's all taken care of. It was so lax. And they actually delivered it. Oh, no, I won't tell you too much because it's in my video that will be up tomorrow night. But it was quite a bizarre little scenario, because normally when you go to these places, there's 10, 15 minutes of paperwork and standing around, but they made it so easy. And it's normally pretty cheap to rent a car there. Winnipeg, Canada gets cold. German student in Japan. Wie geht's? Gut, danke und Ihnen. That's what I remember from my school days. I have noticed that I've had a couple of orders already for signed prints, so hopefully that's come from you guys watching this live stream. So yes, I mentioned earlier on that I'm getting, at the moment you can get Gasly, Albon, De Vries, Gunther Steiner, and Esteban Ocon is signing next week in Melbourne, as is Oscar Piastri, as is Fernando Alonso, but they sold out in the 2 days without me having to promote them. I've got a team principal signing, and I've got another F1 driver, which I'll promote next week. So thank you to all those people who are picking up Can't Talk. So 162 people, not bad for a Saturday morning. What hotel do you recommend is the best to stay in Saudi? If your budget is big, stay at the Shangri-La, but I don't know how you get a room. It's just forever sold out. I was very lucky. The other one close to the track is Radisson Blu, which is okay. Once again, you can't buy a room there. No, I've never asked to be official staff or team photographer. I'm not very good at that, so I wouldn't be any good. I'm loving my Chad Alonso Aston shirt I have. What's a Chad Alonso? Well, I'm glad you're loving it. I'm an idiot not getting an Alonso print. Yeah, I held off a day, not pre-ordering one, and they sold out. Yep, they did sell out. They did sell out. It was so quick, which is good because it shows there's huge demand. And yeah, you want to get one of these others. I think the Oscar Piastri one in years to come will be quite valuable, especially given you get a photo of it for irrefutable proof of authenticity. And if he becomes a world champion, you've got a picture from his very first race that's provable. Is that a word? Yeah, I think that's a good investment. Tokyo is incredible, I agree. It's a wonderful country. The people are great. Public transport is a joy. Hotel rooms are on the small side, and it's just out of this world. It's an Alonso meme, is it? Okay. 60 countries and counting, and Japan is the greatest. Staying at the Kempinski Budapest. Well, you should do, Milton. It's just the very best hotel. Please make sure that you tell them that as well. I got a room overlooking that Ferris wheel, and it's gorgeous. And go to that Blue Note bar downstairs, although I don't know how that is without the F1, because during F1 nights, it's just hundreds of people out the front. It's a sideshow. Now, Lee's father worked for Canon for 30 years. They fired all the salespeople and banned him from selling Canon products. Oh, okay. I love Canon. What is the best general admission? Oh, look, people ask me which stand should I sit in or where should I go. I've got no idea. We never go in the stands. In fact, we weren't even allowed for many years to go in the stands. It's so hard to get out into the general public area for us because of locked gates and areas that we can come and go from. Although in Miami, I do remember going to that beach club, and I'm going to do that again this year for one of the sessions, go out to that beach club and take photos, because that you get some great pics, and it also tends to fire up a few people who don't like seeing the punters in their bathers, in their swimmers. They get all offended. And they say, well, you shouldn't be putting pictures up. Well, hey, if you were at the track, you would see exactly the same thing that I see. All I'm doing is documenting what I see for those people who can't see it with their own eyes. So yeah, I'll go out there again and see what we see, because it is a fascinating glimpse into the lifestyle that is prominent in that particular region. What's my favourite thing about the Albert Park circuit? Well, it's probably the proximity of the car park for the media to the media centre. It's so close. It's fantastic. No, I'm not playing piano. Thanks for the offer, though. I'm horribly rusty and it's embarrassing. Do you record a bit with the gear behind you? No, I don't. What's the Neumann? That's a microphone, a Neumann. No, I don't record anything. I just have it there for a bit of fun. Most of the other stuff's my sons, guitars and the drums. They play those. I just play piano. Although I did have a hack on the drums this morning, and it's nothing special. What's the Australian media saying about Piastri? I don't know. I don't read the Australian media. I'm guessing he gets a lot of praise, as he should. Well, he's done all right, hasn't he, really? For first couple of races, he had some bad luck in both races. But, yeah, I think we've got great things to look forward to with Oscar. He's got good management in Mark and Anne Webber. What is the music instrument behind you on your right up against the wall? This one is a marimba. That's it, says Jace. Yes, and Jace plays that. Jace, please clean your room and put away all that mess. What airlines am I flying to Baku and Miami? Emirates and Qatar. Mark is Godly, who's a recidivist, just keeps chiming in with the super chats, thanks. He went to Zandvoort last year with his family. 2-team family, Ferrari v Red Bull. He's Red Bull, my mum and sister Ferrari, brother is Mercedes, and dad is Aston. I was loving the orange, yeah. I've never seen more people queuing up to buy food out the back of the grandstands that I have in that particular venue. It's phenomenal. Although I did hear some nasty stuff about the Dutch behaviour towards women and other fans, which, unbelievable, just dumb. Thank you, What I See Photography. Looking forward to my videos and images from the Sunshine Code. I don't know if Illman's a German surname. I honestly don't. Did I get a democracy sausage this morning? No. Jace, did you go down to Bunnings and get a sausage? Which upcoming race am I most... I've mentioned that already. You must have just joined me. I've got a list here. I'll run through them again. Imola, Monaco, Hungary, Japan, Kota, and Las Vegas. They're the ones. Do I find photographing cars similar to photographing wild animals? With my African photography, if you were photographing a cheetah running, you wouldn't know where it went. It could go anywhere. At least with an F1 car, you know the path that it's going to take. Oh, is there an election in New South Wales, is there? I didn't know that. State election, obviously. Where are my ancestors from? I have no idea. No, I did actually start and look at that, and then I got distracted, as I often do, easily distracted. If you want to get your comments seen, get onto Super Chat. And if you want my full attention, go and purchase one of my signed prints. There's another one. Thank you very much. This one's going to Mexico. Good on you, Ismail. Thank you very much for your order. Yeah, get onto kimellman.com if you want to get one of those hand-signed and numbered F1 prints with irrefutable proof of authenticity. And my photo books are going well. I tell you what does go well is the Miami race. The Miami race is probably my second best seller besides my end-of-year book, because, I don't know, you people in Miami, you just have so much disposable income and you value going to a high-profile event like the GP and getting a pictorial, well, it's a book, isn't it? It's a hard-cover, hard-page, mini coffee table book, and often, not often, sometimes, you get one of only maybe 30 books. Because they're print to order, it's not like I buy 1,000 then hope to sell them. Some books are only 10, 20, 30 books in the run, and they are updated. So my Lando Norris book gets updated every now and then with new pictures. There you go. Is my family going to join you from Melbourne? Yes. Well, my wife and my youngest son, the oldest son's not coming. Thank you for making these videos and sharing your photos. You're welcome, Anthony. You're welcome. And Terry Robertson. How many of you fans are going to Stay Passionate? You know what's funny, Terry? When I'll be at the track and people come up and say, oh, I follow you on Instagram, I go, oh, that's great. But as soon as they say, oh, and Stay Passionate, I go, oh, right. Clearly you've got to the end of my videos, which is a valuable thing for me. So the Stay Passionate, Terry, is a very, it shows that person is a special, elevated fan, as you are too. Terry, you're in the US, are you not? Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't wait to see you at the Melbourne GP, Annika Bates. I didn't know you were coming. Are you coming? I didn't know that. Are you coming on the same flight? Let me have a look. I've got the, Annika is a very good friend of Jace Illman's. Let me see if I can find this. I imagine you two are watching this together. Travel. I'll have your details here if you're coming. No, I haven't got your details. Are you coming, Annika? I am. Good on you. Anika could be in Women of the Paddock. Have I got a photo of her? Anika. Let me show you Anika. There was a pop star called Anika. No, I don't have one in my database, but yeah, she is works for an airline and is very popular. And also does TikTok. Wichita, Kansas, the Wichita lineman. Kansas, is that anywhere near Indiana? Would you be coming to the Indiana race? Because my son also is aware of your name because he does my social media, and yeah, it's not on the same flight, says Anika. Rightio, fair enough. I've got some people coming over to my house for dinner, some very nice F1 people, important F1 people, not drivers, but important people to me. And Mark is Godly, another chime in here on Super Chat. The two YouTube I watch are by Catchline, Stay Passionate, and the other is I'm Not a Fanboy, Just Passionate. Matt and Tommy. Jace, do you know Matt and Tommy? Are they from F1, or WTF1? Are they those blokes? Because they left recently, didn't they? How do you afford the cost of luxury travel? I work very hard and I'm clever. Yeah, well, you do what I've been doing for 50 years and I'm pretty good at marketing. Ever considered moving to Monaco? No, I would hate that, absolutely hate it. Yes, WTF1, as I thought. Yes, they're going all right, Matt and Tommy, aren't they? And I understand that WTF1, not that I ever watched anything of theirs, I understand they're struggling big time. My income comes from a number of different revenue streams, and if you're a YouTube member of mine, you can, or VIP member, you can go and have a look at video. The money side of F1 photography. Give you a bit of an eye-opener there. Regards from Mexico. Yeah, I do love your race. Got an apartment there in Polanco this year because I couldn't get a room at my favourite hotel, the Hyatt. Oh, actually, no, I'm not taking that. Used to get 300,000 views a video. Now it's 20 to 30. Great, because I've had 240,000 on my video from 2 videos ago. And that's in, 3.5 days. That's gone gangbusters. Do I still track drive? No, I don't do anything but work. I was in quarantine the last time you watched. My gosh, that was my 12-hour. I did a 12-hour live stream. Incredible. And you got to watch me eat and do everything. Not everything. What am I going to do with my 4 days after the Miami GP around that area? I've got a couple of suggestions. I'm just not sure what I should be doing. Best cameras for live stream. Well, I'm just using my phone with a Rode mic on the side. Look, I really would love to have a much better setup. What will be for dinner? Tonight, Milton? Are you talking tonight? You know, we've got... last night we had the most gorgeous crumbed chicken with mashed potato. When am I starting my own podcast? Is this not a podcast? Does it have to be scripted? I don't know. No, I think I've got enough on. What I wanted to do is stuff on a Thursday night, but now I've got this contract, which sees me having to stay back Thursday and Saturday nights doing a lot of work. Favourite restaurant in Perth? I tell you, Philip, don't even bother trying to book a table at Rockpool at the casino. It's an absolute nightmare. What a joke. The number they promote you can't get through on. And then when you do get through on another number, it goes to voicemail. And no, I gave up in the end. My favourite restaurant, probably Amore, a little Italian place with the best pasta. Good value, nothing special, just a little suburban restaurant. But I do like Nobu for their gorgeous black cod miso. Florida Keys should be beautiful. Jace, get onto that. Stan reckons Florida Keys, and somebody else suggested Florida Keys. Best time to pick up my limited releases at the start. And you've got to be on the mailing list. If you're not on the mailing list, like Fernando, I didn't even promote. I just sent it out, sent the mailer out to the 3,500 people. Might be more than that now. And they went bang, 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 gone. Obviously, other drivers are a bit slower, but don't wait, because you get the best choice of numbers. Obviously, number 1 is the most popular, or the number of the drivers, so 14 goes at a premium, number 1 goes at a slight premium, and then the numbers that are the cheapest are from, they're not 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, they are the other numbers after 10 and not the driver's number. Mark is Godly, yes, you've got my full attention with a super chat. You feel there's been a rift, but will happen. I feel there is a rift, but will happen with Max and Checo. I think Checo is loving this seat. He has now more wins than ever. But will Liam or Danny Rick get the seat in 20? I don't know. I don't know. He wants to be there, and he's immensely popular, and he does bring in a good whack of cash from the Mexican market. Yeah, look, I want him to do a sign print run, but we've been close a couple of times. Just got to get over the mark there. Keep our fingers crossed for Checo. I like him. I think he's a bit of a character. Imagine buying a $200 post with just a signature. Post. I don't want to brag, but I got 1 of 50 of Alonso. I know, Stephen. I know, because you were switched on. You were waiting for it. You had all of your stuff ready to go. You didn't have to think. You'd made the decision. And that's what that's what passionate collectors are like. They know, they're ready. And I know that unfortunately that one was launched late night in the US, which meant that some markets probably didn't hear about it until all the good numbers had gone, but that's going to happen. Mark is Godly, who hasn't chimed in with a super chat there, but that's fine. He says, I love Checo, can't wait for you to do a signing. I'm in the mail list. Good. Yeah, I really want him to do it. He's managed by Julian Jacoby, who is the same manager as Ayrton Senna had. I don't always launch at a particular time. It just depends. It's all over the place. Although I probably would, for someone like a Checo, launch when it's daylight in Mexico, because that's where I figure the majority... Well, no, it's not actually Mexico. It's also the US, because you have a large following of Checo fans in the US. And have I got any fans in Tunisia? Yeah, I think I have. I think Avec Mention is from Tunisia. How many takes for the Emirates attendance? Oh, you saw that. No, they got one chance, because they just opened the doors and they said, oh, girls, quick, can you do a Stay Passionate? And they said, yeah. And I said, 1, 2, 3, go. I actually recorded all that trip back for a travel video, but then I thought, no, it's too much like so many other ones. There's nothing really unusual happened. I'm hoping something happens, but no. So I didn't bother editing it and saved myself a whole lot of time. Austinites, we love Checo, yeah. And I did love the city road run that he did in Dallas. Was it Dallas or Austin? Yeah, it was Dallas. Yeah, it was fantastic. Good atmosphere, and I got great access too. How can you join the mailing list, Hayden? You go to kimelman.com, you click on the shop, you go to the signed prints, and there's a thing that says, put me on the mailing list. And then you click all the drivers that you're interested in. Not that that affects what email you get, everyone gets the same email. It just gives us an idea of whether we should be approaching certain drivers that I had not considered. But please go and fill that in. You can all do that, doesn't cost you anything, and that way you get first notification. You don't have to buy, you can just simply say, no, just delete the thing if you don't want it. Is Hamilton going to sign? Oh gosh, Hamilton doesn't know what he's going to do. How am I going to know? Favourite country to stay in? Oh, Australia's good. Speak the language. Got lots of the currency handy. Some countries I go to, I don't have one single note of local currency. If I go back to last year, I reckon I had no currency in Brazil, no currency in Mexico, none in Abu Dhabi. I just go in with a credit card, and it's quite amazing. All Texans love Checo, even you white guys, Johnny. Remember Kill Hellman? Yes, that was in Croatia. Yeah, that was funny. He had about 10 goes at my name. He was the loveliest fella. October 16, 2021, says Stephen, Dallas. Yeah, that was in lockdown. No, it wasn't lockdown, but it was in the year that I had to stay away. For the whole year, favourite track? Oh, Monaco for photography. The reason I'm looking down here is on my computer, I have here 3 different things. Well, am I going to embarrass myself here? But not that bit go there. There we go. So here I have along the top all of the races. Can you see that? Yeah, all of the races, and then all of the teams are down here. Because oftentimes I'll do a post and I'll think, and the drivers are up the top as well. I'll think when I'm doing a post from the track, I need to put in 1 car from each team. And in the past, I'd always forget 2 or 3 teams. What teams have I forgotten? Now I've got this here. Constantly reminds me. Same as the races, and I'm constantly doing bookings. It's a grind. I've still got stuff that I haven't planned for this year and stuff that I have to change around. But anyway, it all comes together in the end. Kim, you should put your frequently asked questions in the description on your streams. Okay, thank you for the tip. Lewis or Verstappen, who's the best driver? I think Verstappen. What track do you wish was on the calendar this year? Perth. Is there a Perth City Street track? That would be lovely. Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? What have we got here? Other questions? And I do thank you for your questions, because it gives me something to talk about. How did you start your career? I went to a 2016 Abu Dhabi GP, and I was with Red Bull, and I was standing down there in the garage listening to Daniel talk to his engineers. It was all very peaceful and quite lovely. And I thought, I'd like to photograph this sport. And so I contacted the FIA and I put forward my case. And initially I thought I could do X for the sport, and I put that down in writing, and they said, yeah, all right, let's have a go, let's see what you like. And here I am 102 races later, still enjoying it. And how long will I do it? Well, until I get bored. Someone said, South Australia. Catherine, you got my attention because I was raised in South Australia. And Jamie was last in Perth for the World Rally in 06. You know that I actually drove Carlos Sainz around the track in my, I think it was a Porsche Boxster I had then. And he was sitting on the back. Yeah, that was quite a memorable night for me. Do I use a tripod? Monopod, yeah, never use a tripod. Monopod, yes, for the 600mm. Sad you didn't get to see China this year. No, Johnny, I hate China. I hate the whole race. It's in a very ordinary area. It was going to be so expensive for me to go there. Hotels are so-so. No, I don't miss it. Thank you, Mark is Godly, for your super chat contribution. What is your comment? Mark, are you what time is it? Are you an Aussie Rules fan? Is there a game on 2 p.m. start maybe? Pleasure, Johnny. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Dust respecting China, yeah. You asked what I think. Don't love it. The new racetrack, the Bend in South Australia would be great. Yeah, that was rumoured to be perhaps a candidate for the Oz GP when COVID hit. Glads for everyone from Merida Yucatan, the Yucatan Peninsula, Vamos, Checo, which means go Checo. Point of view about Verstappen and something. I have a photo book of yours from last year, Canadian GP. Yeah, I'll sign it if I see you. Or you can leave it at a hotel I'm staying at, Joey, and I'll gladly sign it and leave it there for you. More than happy and indeed delighted to do so. So I'm keen to know what my point of view about Verstappen and something else. Turkey would be good. Would you compare Safari? How would I compare it? Both are very expensive. Both involve a lot of waiting around, and I think F1's got a bit more for me than wildlife. Wildlife can be 3 hours and no photographs, just nothing happens. But then, of course, you come across something like 9 lions in a tree, or you come across some amazing kill, and that gets your blood pumping. Thoughts on Cadillac joining the grid? No thoughts. My wife asked me, and I don't know, is Canady a global business? No, it's global, all right. Canady.com is one of my businesses which does online staff training. And even though it's all in English, and our biggest market is America, go figure, and we've not often been asked for American accents, which is great. They seem to like, well, my voice is on mostly anyway. Now, Victor, let's go straight to Victor because he's got a very colourful comment here because he's used Super Chat. Hope you have an event lined up for Austin. Yes, I will do a meet and greet. And I did last year, and I had 60 people at least between FP1 and 2 at the roundabout halfway up the straight towards turn 1 on the outside of the track. And I'll do it again this year. And I want to see 120 people there. And I think I'll get it. The US is my biggest market by a mile. Love the interview with Pato, says Bywall. I've got another one coming up. Pancakes Award, that's all I'll say. Any plans to compare F1 to IndyCar? I did a video last year about that. Did I? Yeah, I spoke to Marcus and Roman. I'll speak to both of them again at that race and Colton Herter. You know, what am I going to ask them? What interesting content can I get out of that? But they are all super relaxed guys and enjoyable to be around. Thoughts on Grand Seiko? My first ever watch was a $20 Seiko, and I still have it. Yeah, I'm aware of Grand Seiko. They sell for up around $4,000 Aussie, some of those watches. Daniel Ricciardo signed print. The request is in, if and when it happens. If you're on the mailing list, you'll get notified first. And trust me, that Lando, Charles, Lewis, any of the big six, I will never promote them. I won't have to. They'll go straight away to my email database. What was my luckiest picture? This one. Was this one? Well, I guess they're all lucky. Daniel Spray. No, Daniel Max. This is a bit harder than I thought to find. What's the other keyword? German. Oh, bugger. German. Oh, it's taking too long, people. Too long. Picture of Daniel coming onto the grid. Why is my computer so slow? Give me a second, I'll come back to it. Will I be shooting GT World at Sonoma next weekend? Oh, you will be. I was going to say, because I'm not, I'm going to be in Melbourne. Which would I prefer, rain or dry for this year's Singapore GP? Well, this is making me very angry, this computer. I would like to see rain for one reason. The shot on the Anderson Road Bridge with the cars flicking up the spray is quite gorgeous. And Jace took those pictures last year, and I'd like to get them again. But I don't like having to be out in the rain. It is quite uncomfortable. Right, well, there's clearly something wrong with my computer here, people. So you won't be seeing that picture. Best rental car. I had a BMW last year in Austin, Texas, or was it the year before? Great car. What have I got booked this year? Anything interesting? Yeah, I got a Mercedes booked through an app called Virtuo. Have you heard of Virtuo? I hadn't heard of it, but the thing I love about it, and I've not rented a car, and maybe it'll turn to shit, I don't know, but it's an app, so I've booked this car, it was a reasonable price, and I just go to a car park and get in the car. I don't have to go and stand in front in a queue, wait for someone to write the information that I've put in some booking system into their system, sign 1 million pieces of paper, cite my license. I just go to the car and get in it. And I love that. And I hope it works the way that they say it should work. Where do I sell most of my images? The United States of America, Stuart. I can't narrow it down any more than that. How do I deal with jet lag? Rarely get it. I book good flights. I sleep well on planes. I must admit though, when I go to the US or come back from the US, and if it's a long, long flight, for some reason that affects me, I don't know. And even then it's just a good sleep. He says yawning. Apple or Android? I got both. Android I got, and I'll tell you, because probably if you've not been with this feed for an hour, you didn't hear earlier on. When I send a picture from my camera, for instance, I will take a photo here with this camera. I'll show you this. Right, so I've just taken this photo here. Let's say I take that photo there. In order for me to get that up to you, I press this button here, set. And when I've got my Android phone, it goes to the Android phone in 3 seconds. Unheard of. In the past, I would send it to a convoluted way, and it would come back in a Dropbox to my iPhone, and it could sometimes take 4 or 5 minutes depending on the internet. So with the Android, it's very quick, but there's one drawback. When I upload to Instagram, I can type in and put my captions, and it's all fine, but I don't have any way of automatically hitting ZY, and then that puts in my tag. So I save the Instagram post, then I go and pick up my iPhone, and I go and put in the codes by pressing ZY or XYZ, whatever it is. There's just some text replacement. Am I going to be going to Le Mans? No, I'm not. Do you find the triple headers exhausting? Extremely so, especially when they're long flights. Because don't we have a triple header that involves Canada? No. Where's the triple header? So I'm just looking here. And I think Jason and I are doing a triple header, 7th. Yeah. Imola, Monaco, Spa. Spain, that's fine because they're all close and they're 2-hour flights. But when you've got a 10-hour or 6-hour, that's really tough. And cannons, no. But I did get, I haven't got it here, a very interesting lens, an f1.0 lens, which is fantastic. Not super sharp, but dreamy quality. Ever thought about photographing sailing? No. I'll tell you who's a brilliant sailing photographer, one of the best in the world, if not the best, is Clive Mason, works for Getty Images. And I work alongside Clive at the track, or we speak, and sometimes I'll be standing next to him. And he's an amazing F1 photographer, but an even better sailing photographer. But I'm no good on the water. What's my camera model and lens specs? Go and have a look at my equipment video. Hey, it just reminded me, I've done a new one for this year. I think it's been recorded, but we haven't put it up. Let me make a note here. Kim, 2023 equipment video. Because if that hasn't gone up, that's got to go up. And look at that, we've had about 10 people register. Pete Sullivan, are you on here at the moment? I reckon you're on my feed. John Lindley, you're on my feed. And Zach Barstool, you've just all registered for signed driver prints. And John, you've said Gunter Steiner here. Well, Gunter's available right now. You can go and buy him straight away. And who does this person want? We've missed out on Fernando Pete, but you will be very pleased next week, Pete. I promise you that, because there is another driver in your list that I can announce on Monday. So if you are a fan of F1 and you want a signed print by a different driver than I've got up on my list, make sure you're on my mailing list, because you'll get a pleasant surprise on Monday. And then after the AusGP, you'll get another pleasant surprise, because I've got a very popular team principal who's doing a print offering Would love to have you on my channel for a Q&A session. Well, if you've got lots of people, a lot more things I should be doing. Says Zach, can you take some photos of me next week? If I see you, yeah, why not? I'm going to be a vehicle recovery marshal. Rightio, well, you get my attention. And you're a member, and I'll gladly take your photo. If I see you at the track and you're a member, you're at a higher level. Otherwise, if you're just an Instagram fan, thank you for that. If you're a YouTube follower, thank you for that. If you follow me on TikTok, thank you for that. Twitter, not quite as many. And Facebook as well. Any chance of signed merch by Lewis? You never know. No one says no. They just said not at the moment. Focal length is 50. Dan, yes. How much weight do you lose during race weekend? Well, I actually got down. I went from 98.9 to 96.6 a couple of days before I left because I was training every day with Nick DeVries' trainer over the phone, and it worked. But then I came back here and I've just been on an eating fest. I've put much of it back on. Can you tell is fair game? Angela leaving Lewis, a shock to you. Yeah, too right, it was a shock to everyone. Because there was obviously something way out of the norm because it happened between rounds 1 and 2 and he didn't have a replacement trainer. Say what you like, if it's anything but out of the ordinary, I'll be surprised. Just want to know, many of us live vicariously through my experiences on the track. Thank you for that, Johnny. Yeah, I just pretty much tell you everything I see. G'day from Byron Bay. I went to Byron Bay. I went to a blues fest. See Grace Jones. I think I drove from Gold Coast. Did I drive? I think it wasn't that far from there, was it? Off to get lunch, says Nicole. What are you having? I've got to have some lunch too, although I think it's about time for lunch. Then Toto stating was Lewis Hamilton says, well, he might not have read what was posted by either of them. Yeah, anyway, that's what happens in business. If you watch my video, the Lewis-Angela split, I give you my reasonings. I won't go into detail, you can go and watch that. Any tips for a GP first timer? Back with you. Now, there was a question back here. Is Vegas my most anticipated race? Yeah, I think I'm excited and anticipating it because I don't think it's going to be as good as we all expect. I think it's going to be a bit of a rabble. Thankfully, I'm staying close to the track, and I think most people will be close to the track. There's 150,000 rooms in the city, and if you wanted to, you could probably walk to the track from almost all the restaurants. Are going to be saying, oh no, it's Grand Prix, you've got to pay $400 and it's a special menu, and no, I just want something quick and easy. But of course, you can always go to In-N-Out Burger, and for $5 Aussie, you can get one of the best hamburgers ever. I'll pump that light up a bit more. Rightio, what other questions do you have, people? Having leftover pulled pork, good for you. Melville, just up the road. Well, 2 hours away. I watched your Ange video. They both put out very PR safe statements. Yeah, that's right. And that stuff's all planned, and it's planned down to the minute. Right, you put yours up at this minute, I'll put mine up. That's how it works. Go over that sort of stuff. Just looking back. Here then. Final questions. We're going 70 minutes and 29 seconds. Thank you. Somebody asked about the piano that I made out of Lego. There it is there. Just sitting there. Yeah. I made that in lockdown in 2021. And final question. Where do the drivers stay? No idea. You only find out after they've stayed there. They don't normally say, hey, I'm standing house. He stays, because he's such a popular identity, he can get no privacy, and so he stays in a house. Now, someone's got out of the sauna in North Dakota. I'm excellent, thank you for that. And a final question, some of my favourite stand-up comedians. Well, I am passionate about stand-up, and I love Mike Bagazzi. He's legendary. Anthony Jeselnik, I can't get enough of. Who else? I like Jerry Seinfeld. I like Norm MacDonald. That's my feedback, so thank you very much for being a part of this live stream, and thanks for putting up with the lagging and the occasional dropouts. I'll see you next week at my meet and greet in Melbourne. More details on my Instagram channel.